What's cracking, guys? This video is going to be a little bit different. For anybody who knows me, they know that ever since grad school, when I first got introduced to this game, I've been very interested in League of Legends. You may know about it, but back in the day, I used to waste many hours playing this game, getting upset with people online, and feeling sometimes happy, more oftentimes not so happy. But I enjoyed the times out of this game. I've had great friendships through it, and nowadays I don't play it. I just watch some of the professional matches. Mostly, I watch the LCK. That's a league in South Korea. And for the people who really know me and dare to sit down and listen to my rants and vents about League of Legends, they know there's one team that I've always been very interested in, always supportive of, and that team is T1. Back in the day, we were called SKT Telecom T1. Nowadays, just go by T1. I've always been a huge fan. I've always been the type of person who I support players and I always cheer for players and I follow them rather than just a team. So, like for example, in basketball, you have people who grew up in LA. They're like, oh yeah, no matter what, we cheer for the LA Lakers, da 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 da. Even me, I just cheer for players. I loved Kobe back in the day. Nowadays, I don't really watch anybody. Loved MJ back in the day. Steph Curry, I used to follow him as well. But anyways, that's basketball. For me, a player I have always supported since he entered onto that big stage, Faker. The GOAT of League of Legends. Greatest of all time. No dispute there, no debates. The most decorated player. And he's just an amazing guy. I hope I can get to meet him one day. Big dreams, big dreams. But anyways, a bit of backstory to my video title, because you might be wondering, who the heck is Gumayusi? Why am I talking about T1 and Faker when in my video title it says Gumayusi? Now back in the day, for many years, SKT was very dominant on the scene. They were destroying it at World Championships, earning many titles locally and internationally. And Faker was at the forefront of it all. He was the one leading the team. He's been there since the beginning, even till now. He's still there playing. This man is about to hit 30, and he's still playing this game. That is rare, so rare, right? For a player to do at this high level of competition. And through the good, the bad, I've always supported T1. I've been there for them. I've been there cussing them out when they're messing up. I've been there cheering for them on their highs. I've always loved this team. Now, after a big run, their last big run before recent events, years back, they made it all the way to the finals and they got knocked out. They were about to have a three-peat back-to-back World Championship titles. They fell short right at the end. It was a sad moment. Saw Faker break down, cry. I've never seen that man like that. Right? Now, they went through a long downtime where they weren't really hitting it. They went through many different roster changes. Lots of things happened. But a couple years ago, they got a team together, right? ZOFGK. That's the initial of the 5 players that were on that roster. Zeus, Ono, Faker, Gumayusi, and Keria. These guys, after a tumultuous year, I think it was their 3 back-to-back Worlds, that's 25, 24, 23. That's their 3 back-to-back titles. They made it to the finals this year. Right? 25, 24, 23, 22. I could be wrong. I'm hoping this is right. In 2022, after a very tumultuous year, lots of roster changes, lots of nonsense happening in the org, they made it to the World Championship finals. Those 5 players. Fell a little short, didn't get the title. The following year, 2023, they won. They got that title. Same roster stays together. 2024, boom! Another World Championship title. Everybody's like, oh damn. And that's when the ZOFGK chant, or branding to be more accurate, was born. Right? I think it's here. Wait, it's on the back. Now this was massive because it never really happens that a roster stays together for that long. And especially a roster that has gotten 2 World Championship titles. Everybody's like, oh damn, will they stay together again? Will it happen again? Will they be able to have another run, this amazing roster with these personalities that everybody loved, right? It didn't happen, sadly. Zeus, their top laner, ended up leaving and going to a different org. He went to Hanwha Life Esports. And there was a bit of nonsense that also surrounded those events, right? Just to try and cut it a bit short, there was a lot of back and forth between T1 and Hanwha, and people, T1 was kind of blaming Hanwha, saying like, or not Hanwha, they're blaming between Hanwha and Zeus's agents, saying like, oh, you know, they kind of just went and left us and we had to grab up this new guy, Doran, their new pickup, right? And in the end, to skip forward a bit, they had some discussions again in the future, and T1 was like, oh, you know, it was actually kind of our fault. Really? Really? Anyways, whatever. So Zeus leaves. He goes over to Hanwha Life, right? The other 4 members, Owner, Faker, Gumayusi, Carrier, they stay on the roster. New guy comes in, Doran. Now, Doran is kind of known for not being the greatest top laner. And, you know, I had my reservations as well when he joined. I was like, oh, damn, what's going to happen? Are they going to be able to do this? You know, I don't know. Right? But, yo, my man Faker's there. I don't like how T1 handled the Zeus situation. But, yo, I'm going to keep cheering for T1. Like, yo, you guys can do it. Let's go. Let's have another run. And this year, whoo, this year was a rough year. T1 had one of the most roller coaster years they've had in a minute, in my opinion, right? And it wasn't really for lack of performance on Doran's part. Doran stepped up in many ways. I love his new nickname, Kruglord, right? Anytime I see Doran performing, I'm like, yo, that's Kruglord right there. Give me Kruglord, that's what I want. When he's not performing, I'm like, yo, that's Doran, we don't want Doran. I want Kruglord, give me Kruglord, right? This past year, 2025, right? That's the year with the Doran in, Zeus out, and switch up. You would think that having 4 two-time, well, one of them, Faker, has a ton more, but 3 plus, no, sorry, 2, math. You would think that's having 4 players with at least 2 world championship titles would make you say, all right, boom, we got high caliber players who just need to get this one new guy up and running and smash out the competition. You think that's what they do. But at the start of the year, at the start of the year, T1 makes a weird decision. They're having their league stuff. It's the start, their new tournament, their Winter Cup or whatever you call it. And after 2 matches, I think, right, they end up losing a match and they decide to suddenly substitute Gumayusi. Like, what the flip? What? All of a sudden, Guma's out and this guy from their challenger team, Smash, is in. I was like, what the hell? You have Gumayusi, a well-decorated player, achieved so much, right? 0 deaths in the finals, whatever, for the previous world championship. And you sub him out and bring in Smash. They're like, oh yeah, we feel like it's time to try something new, blah, blah, blah. But to shorten that a bit, people weren't happy. People weren't happy with that decision. Some people are happy. There is this fan/anti-fan group called T1 Gala. I think that's the name properly. I'll double check if I'm wrong. I'll put it there somewhere, right? And they had it out for Gumayusi, man. For whatever dumb reason, they had it out for this man. And over a period of time, like a good long time, Smash was still playing, and this anti-fan team was doing the worst. They were sending funeral wreaths to the organization. They were smashing him out online. They were dosing his games. And that's awful. But the even more disappointing part is that T1 did almost nothing to protect Gumayusi. That was very disappointing. That was very upsetting that they didn't do that, right? And a lot of actual fans, the real fans, they were pissed. I was super pissed. I'm like, yo, I don't give a damn about this Smash guy. Good job if he's a good player, whatever, yeah? We were supposed to do the thing where we run the 4 members, we have 1 new guy, we bring him up, get him synced to the team, smash the competition. No pun intended, right? No, that's not what happened. And after a bit of pressure, this part I think it was the upper management that ended up telling T1 like, yo, put Gumayusi back in, right? It was most like a bit of pressure from the fans that led to that decision. Now, They did put Guma back in. This part, I believe, was a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. They said, all right, we're going to put Gumayusi back in. We'll see how the performance goes. Depending on that, we'll make a decision in the future about who we're going to have run the rest of the competition, the rest of the year. One small thing to try and highlight that happened during the time when Smash was still playing. There was something that I think got leaked about what one of the coaches for T1, Tom, was talking about with a member, Carrier. They're saying something about something regarding Gumayusi. I think it's a rumor. Rumors are there, right? But sometimes rumor have a basis, right? Anyways, Guma gets put back in, smashes back down to challengers, right? One of the reasons they claim is that Smash wasn't handling the performance at the LCK level well, and they thought he'd be the better back in challenger, bring Gumayusi back in. Now Gumayusi, this man, damn it, like I was saying, Gumayusi, this man is just a champion, because even after being benched, he tried to stay positive. He said he just put in the work, and if he's the one who is better, they'll put him back in. And he put in work, practicing all of the champs that he was weaker in, that people saw as being a reason for him being subbed out, where he's not able to play those champions that are currently meta in the league, right? He put in that work, got better with them, boom, 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 right? All he did was grind, but you could see this man's life being drained from him based on all the nonsense that was happening, right? The Carrier thing, why I mentioned it earlier, and why to me it's a bit important. These two had such a great relationship. They were so supportive of each other. I remember one time Gumayusi mentioned on stream one time he was sick and not feeling well. Carrier went out and got that man some soup and some food and brought it to him and gave it to him, right? They looked out for each other. They always had a great energy around each other. After this Smash nonsense, the vibe between them just seemed off. They never seemed that close anymore. When they took a break from their vlogs. They have a vlog thing that they do. There was a long break for the vlogs. When the new vlogs started coming out again, the only person or persons who seemed to kind of relate when I associate with Guma, Faker, and Owner, and I guess sometimes Duran, but Carrier always seemed distant. For some reason. In all those videos, everything, he seemed distant. It always seemed so suspicious to me that all of a sudden there's this big rift between them, right? So people refer to them as a divorced married couple because people love those two together. They were so great, right? Gumayusi and Carrier, the bot lane destroyers. They were so good, right? Anyways, getting back on track. Guma's back in. They make it barely make it to Worlds, because even though Guma's back in, the teamwork for the team, the synergy is just off, right? So it's almost a miracle that they make it to Worlds. Almost a miracle. But they made it. They made it to Worlds. And then after they make it to Worlds, they have that run. They have that impossible T1 run that they always have. And they make it. They get the title. They win the trophy against all odds. T1 ends up taking another title. And they finally did it. They finally did the three-peat. The back-to-back World Championship titles that they weren't able to do all those years back, right? And for me, someone who's been watching them since the earlier days, it felt like such a, what do I call it? It was such a big moment. It was such a huge moment, thinking back to when Faker had that breakdown, and now years later, 3 titles, 3-peat. No other team has ever achieved that. I don't even think there's any other team that achieved a 2-peat like what T1 did, right? But they did it. They did it. They didn't get to do it with the ZOFGK roster, but they did it with 4 of those members and Kruglord, Doran. They made it. And it was so massive, even bigger. And what was so important for Gumayusi in particular, he was the finals MVP, the most valuable player. And he got that award from one of the biggest AD carries in the world, Uzi from China. That was, when Uzi came out to give the trophy, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was such a great moment to see. You could see how happy Gumayusi was. And everybody was like, yo, T1 did it. Gumayusi, you did it. I was there cheering for that, the man. I was cheering hard for Gumayusi, trying to talk to him through the screen, trying to remind him of who he is.
Q from Doran, moving in. Peter still gets the ulti. It's a golden eclipse from BDD. A new dawn for KT in game 2, but T1 are unconcerned. Guma, Carrier, standing, the bot lane. Will it be enough? BDD trying to buy her back, but it's Gumayusi. Tearing through the dreams of KT. Guma with the moves at the end. He gets the extra kills and cleans up for T1.
And then the question that's on everyone's mind after this. What's going to happen to T1? Is Guma going to stay? Will Faker stay? Well, Faker's going to be there. Faker not going anywhere. That man in the middle of the year signed another 4 years on T1. This man is planning to play well into his 30s. Anyways, yeah. Anyway, he's not going anywhere, obviously. Will Ona be there? Will Carrier stay? Will Doran sign another year? Right? These are the questions. And we got answers very quickly. As soon as free agent season opened, it was announced that Guma's leaving the team. Now, I'm not surprised. Based on everything that happened through the year, hoped he would leave. Honestly, like, I love Guma. I love Guma. Guma's the man to me, yeah? Like, that man is right up there with me, like, right up there with Faker. Like, yo, I respect that man a lot, right? I respect all the members from the ZOFGK era. Respect all of them, right? Caribbean fell down a little bit because I don't like how sus him acted with Gumayusi, but that's a different story. Well, it's the same story, but a different story altogether, right? But anyways, Guma left. And he went to join Hanwha Life, where Zeus is. So now those two are reunited. And to me, it's two players that kind of got screwed over by T1 who are together now. Huh. Irony, right? And do you know, not long after Guma got announced as leaving, they signed up his replacement quickly. Pays, who used to play on Genji, he went to China for a year, didn't really perform and work out that well. Now he's on T1. Huh. That was pretty fast, T1. When you check the news articles, T1 claimed that it was decided earlier on that regardless of the results from Worlds, Gumayusi would be leaving the org. For me, I really hope that was Guma's decision, that he said, yo, I'm going to look out for myself and go somewhere else, and not based on what T1 decided. That's what I hope, right? For that man. Now, did you notice I said it's Pays that's joining T1, not who? Smash. You remember Smash? Mentioned him earlier in the backstory. That guy who they subbed out Gumayusi for, their big world title holder player. They smashed him out for this guy who they're like, yo, this young blood, this man is going to be the one. Do you know what happened to Smash? He left. He's not at T1 anymore. He is now the AD carry for Damwon. What? What is going on, man? I also hope that Smash left of his own decision and not that T1 made him leave. But he's like, yo, I don't like the way you guys moving. I'ma leave. I'ma peace out. That's what I hope. I hope that's what that was, right? So this is one of the reasons why I follow players and not the org. Because right now, I don't like how T1's moving. They're moving kind of suspicious. I'm not a fan of that, right? So now, even though I am still the big Faker man, Faker still want me to one day, man, yo, you the champ no matter what. No matter what anybody says, you the GOAT. You the GOAT, right? Based on how T1's moving, I got to cheer for the next big man in my books. That big man is Gumayusi the General, right? The man who, against all the odds, all the hate, all the nonsense, stepped up to the plate, got that title, and got that MVP title. So now, you guys know what that means. This coming season, I was planning to maybe leave League behind, save some of that time. But with how T1's moving, this can't be a year where I push T1. for the first year, and I don't know how many years, over a decade, because Faker been playing longer than a decade. For over a decade, for the first in over a decade, I'm going to have to cheer for a team that's not T1. Still rate Faker, still rate Owner. Krug Lord, you there. Carry you shaky. But yo, the other guys, rate all Owner. I wish the best for you guys, but this year, Gumayusi, I'm going to give you my energy, dog. I'm going to become Hanwha Life fan. You and Zeus, you guys go destroy it, yeah? On friggin' Hanwha, we got them main people. We got Zeus, we got Kanavi, we got Zeka, we got Gumayusi, and we got Delight. You guys gonna take it. You guys are going to go and get that title. Yeah? Gumayusi, you deserve it. You want to prove to people how great you are. Not that you haven't already done it, because, dog, you've done it. You got 3 world titles. Most players don't even have 1. Yeah? Faker's an exception. That man got friggin' 6 titles. 6 titles Faker have. Right? That man's the exception. Right? You are one of only 4 players. You are one of 4 players in the world who has at least 3 world championship titles. Gumayusi, you never forget you're a general. You're a dog. Never forget. Always remember, so you run things. You are a boss. You are already one of the best AD carry players in the world. Right? This year, you getting my energy. This year, I'm a cheer Hanwha. I am going to go and get me a Hanwha jacket. Yeah? This jacket. You know, like told me to get a T1 jacket. Cheer for them for over a decade, but I didn't get one until friggin' 2 years ago. When they achieved what they achieved with the ZOFGK. Right? Friggin' ZOFGK. Friggin' over a decade before I'm like, yo, I'm gonna buy a jacket. Right? And then Zeus left, which was sad. So I felt like it's a great memory, don't get me wrong. Still love that jacket, yeah? Still love that T1 jacket. But I'm going to try and make my first jacket with a player name be Gumayusi's jacket. Gumayusi from friggin' Hanwha Life. It feels weird saying this, but yo, that's how much I rate this player and how much I rate his mindset of pushing through despite all the nonsense and feeling like the org don't look out for him and all that. Yeah? I know other players have been through nonsense. I don't know them. I haven't been their people. I haven't been their supporter. But Gumayusi be my man. I'm gonna get your jacket. I'm gonna support Hanwha Life. Yo, Hanwha for the world's title this year. Boom. So yeah, sorry guys, that was a bit of a long rant, but those are some of my thoughts on one of the things that I really enjoy. I really like League, and you know, I love playing, not playing. I used to love playing League. If I had some friends to get together to play with, I'd maybe still enjoy playing League again. Possibly. But you know, despite temptations of going back to it, right now I just enjoy watching League unfold, right? Hopefully I can move on from it at some point so I can save some of those hours in my day. But just to say, for the people who care enough, this year I'm all about Gumayusi. I'm a cheer Hanwha Life. T1, still wish you guys the best. I just want Hanwha with Gumayusi and Zeus to take that world's title this year. We'll see what happens. We'll see if T1 is able to get a mystical 4-peat, or will Gumayusi and Zeus be able to step up with their team, or maybe some team entirely different will take the trophy this year. We'll see what happens. I'll maybe make an update on it later on. If you guys care to know, let me know. Reach out to me. And we can talk about League as well. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Until next time, see you around.